believe in the Bible? Y'all believe in God? So the Israelites are God's chosen people, the so-called Black, Spanish, and Native American Indians. Give me John 8 and 42. So have y'all ever heard that God had a chosen people? Do you know who they are? 8:32.
This is John 8 and 32.
Uh-huh.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Today you're going to learn the truth, and this truth is going to make you free. Because right now, are you familiar how our people got to this side of the earth?
No.
You ever heard of slavery?
Yes. Okay.
Did you know slavery was documented in the Bible 4,000 years ago? Give me Deuteronomy 28, verse 68.
Bring it up for him, Mark.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 68.
Uh-huh.
And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
So the Deuteronomy 28 just said, the Lord will bring you into Egypt again with ships. The word Egypt in the Bible is symbolic. It's similar to. I'm going to show you what it means according to the Bible.
This is Deuteronomy 5 and 6. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt from the house of bondage.
So Egypt is just the house of bondage. It's not a physical Egypt. It's a spiritual Egypt. I'm going to show you that right now.
This is Revelation 11 and 8.
Uh-huh.
This Revelation 11 and 8. And their dead bodies shall lie in the street of the great city, which spiritually is called Sodom and Egypt.
It's spiritually called Sodom and Egypt. This is America right now. Spiritual Sodom and Egypt.
And this is Deuteronomy 28:68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
They said we're going to go into Egypt again with ships, because the first time we were in Egypt, we were under the persecution of Pharaoh and the Africans. They had us in slavery, then they sold us to the so-called white man.
By the whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again.
We was never going to see our homeland again.
And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
No, your friends.
Your enemies.
Uh-huh.
For bondmen and bondwomen. And no man shall buy you.
He said we were going to be sold to our enemies for slave men and slave women, and no man shall buy us. In the Hebrew, the word buy means redeem. No man was going to come and save us out of this captivity. And why? You know why that only happened to the so-called Black, Spanish, and Native American Indians?
Why?
You think God is the God of everybody?
Yes.
Give me Amos. You give me Amos 3 and 1. You give me Joel 2 and 27. I'm gonna show you. We've been taught lies our whole life. Our people have been lied to by all these heathens. They came together under one consent and said, "Let us cut them off for being a nation." So we got confused and call them blacks, call them Negroes, call them Spics, Hispanics, Indians, savages, Blackfoot, all types of names they put on us to make us forget who we were and who our power was. Because we're the Israelites of the Bible. This whole Bible is written for us, by us, to us.
This is Joel 2 and 27.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall know that I am in the midst of Israel.
In the midst of who?
Of Israel.
God said he is in the midst of Israel.
And that I am the Lord your God.
No, everybody's God.
I am the Lord your God.
And what else?
And none else.
The Lord God just said he's the God of Israel. He's the Lord our God and none else. So where does this concept that God's the God of everybody come from? Christianity, Catholicism. Bring it out.
This is the book of Amos, chapter 3, verse 1. Hear this word that the Lord has spoken against you, O children of Israel.
O children of who?
O children of Israel.
To the Israelites.
Against the whole family which I brought up from the land of Egypt, saying, you only have I known of all the families of the earth. Therefore I will punish you for all your iniquities.
So that's why ISIS happened to us. That's why Jim Crow happened to us. That's why we get shot down in the streets today. That's how the damn white man can run in your house and shoot you dead and get 10 years of slap on the wrist to us, because we getting punished for all our iniquities. Y'all never heard of the Israelites for real? What's your religion? You're a Catholic? You're religious?
I identify as Christian, but
You identify as Christian? What color were the Christians, the original Christians? Give me Acts 13 and 1. I'm going to show you some stuff in the Bible. Then I'm going to show you who Christ came for. You know Christ was a black man according to the Bible? Y'all never heard that? Because I know Catholicism, they teach you Caesar Borgia, a white man with blonde hair. Every time you close your eyes, you think about it.
Christianity.
You see, in Christianity, you see this right here. Matter of fact, give me Revelation 1 to 14. I'm going to show you our Messiah in the Bible, man. Because people like to say nobody know what he looked like. Color is it in the Bible. Nobody knows. God is all colors. God is see-through. Nobody knows, but that's not according to the Bible.
This is Revelation 1 and 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool.
Or what?
Were white like wool.
Who has woolly hair? to give you a color and a texture. It's only one nation of people on this earth with woolly hair. You have woolly hair. He has woolly hair. It's our people. Even matter of fact, keep going.
As white as snow, and his eyes were as a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
What color is brass? And what color would that be if you burn it in a furnace? Now you get a dark brown. Give me Daniel 10 in verse 6. Give me Daniel 10 and 6.
All right, this is Daniel 10 and 6. His body also was like the beryl,
So he Christ out in the green garment.
and his face as the appearance of lightning, and his eyes as lamps of fire,
Like it said in Revelation.
and his arms and his feet like in color to polished brass.
And feet like in color to polished brass. But they say color was not in the Bible. But right, Daniel said like in color to polished brass. And do you know Christ was a Jew from the tribe of Judah? Give me Jeremiah 14 and 2. Hold that too. Give me Jeremiah 14 and 2. Because Christ was a Jew from the tribe of Judah. Have you ever heard of the Jewish people?
Yeah.
What I call out those people? They're white people, right? And you know the suffix ish means? Like if I say you acting childish right now, reddish, like pertaining to, sort of, but not the real thing, that's what a Jewish is.
This is Jeremiah 14 and 2. Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground.
They are what?
They are black unto the
The
ground.
real Jews are black unto the ground. Like the soil in the ground, how dark it is, and the deeper you dig, the blacker it gets. Like that soil right there, that's black. That's soil. It said the Jews are black unto the ground. You ever heard of King Solomon?
Yeah.
You read this.
This Songs of Solomon 1 and 5.
I
I am black but calmly.
He's what?
I am black but calmly.
You ever heard these verses in your church before?
I have not.
Keep reading.
O ye daughters of Jerusalem, as the tents of Kedar, as the curtains of Solomon. Look not upon me, because I am black, because the sun have looked upon me. John 10.
Jordan verse 10.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels, thy neck with chains of gold.
Thy cheeks are comely with rows of jewels. Who likes to have grills in their mouth? The diamonds, the rubies, the gold 14K, 24K, the gold chains around their neck, the big Cuban links. That's our people, man. There's nothing new under the sun. Give me that.
This is Job chapter 30, verse 30.
Uh-huh.
My skin is black upon me, and my bones are burned with heat.
Job said his skin is black upon him. Job was a perfect man. According to God, God called Job perfect. A perfect black man right there. They say, people try to say Job was an Edomite, but just said my skin is black upon me, man. Feel me?
This Acts 13 and 1. Now there were in the church that was at Antioch certain prophets and teachers, as Barnabas and Simeon, that was called Niger, and Lucius of Cyrene and Manaen, which had brought up with Herod the Tetrarch and Saul.
Do you know what Niger means?
No.
It means black. The etymology, if you take it to English, you add an extra G and it says nigger. They're called black. That's what Niger means. It means black, man. Give me Isaiah 1 and 3. Because our people was never taught that they were the Israelites. We was taught we were Catholics, Christians, Seventh-day Adventists, Muslims, Mormons, all this man-made stuff.
So, do you mind if I ask what do you identify as?
I'm a Hebrew Israelite from the tribe of Levi. And you will be an Israelite from the tribe of Judah, and he'll be an Israelite from the tribe of Issachar.
That's right.
Give me Baruch 20:30 in there.
This is Isaiah 1 and 3. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel do not know. My people do not consider.
They say the ox know his owner, and the ass know he go to sleep every night. But Israel don't know who the hell they are. And they don't even consider.
Jeremiah 17 and 4.
Yeah, give me Jeremiah 17 and 4.
This is Jeremiah 17 and 4. And thou, even thyself, shalt discontinue from thy heritage that I gave thee. And I will cause thee to serve thy enemies in the land which thou knowest not. For ye have kindled a fire in my anger, which shall burn forever.
That's all like a curse. You being discontinued from your heritage, and you have to serve your enemies because you made the Lord mad. Hold that and give me Deuteronomy 20 and 15. I'm going to show you why we went into slavery, why we here serving our enemies to this day. And you just hold that right there.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So it said, because we broke the commandments that God gave to Moses to give to us, all these curses came upon us. So that's why in the Christian church they say we don't got to keep the commandments, the law is done away with. I don't know too much about the Catholic Church, but it's part of the same doctrine because Christianity is just another sect from Catholicism. It says you don't have to keep the commandments to keep us in sin, keep us going off, but this is what we got to do.
This is Baruch chapter 2 verse 30. For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people.
Our people is very stiff-necked. We don't like to hearken to anything. We don't listen. We didn't even listen to Moses after he led us out of Egypt.
But in the land of their captivities, they shall remember themselves.
That's what we're doing right now. We're coming back to our true nationality, the Israelites of the Bible.
And shall know that I am the Lord their God, for I will give them an heart and ears to hear, and they shall praise me in the land of their captivity, and think upon my name.
That's what we're doing right now.
And return from their stiff neck and from their wicked deeds, for they shall remember the way of their fathers, which sinned before the Lord. And I will bring them again into the land which I promised.
He's going to bring us back to our homeland, Israel, Jerusalem.
With an oath unto their fathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Because he promised that to our forefathers.
And they shall be lords of them.
We're going to be lords of the land.
And I will increase them, and they shall not be diminished. And I will make an everlasting covenant with them to be their God.
And what?
And they shall be my people.
To be their God, and they should be my people.
And I will no more drive my people of Israel out of the land that I have given them.
That's what you got to do. You got to come back and keep the commandments. Do you know any commandments? What commandments you know and that you keep?
That I keep. That I
You
know.
didn't know you had to keep the commandments, right?
No.
That's what they taught us, man. They said you don't have to keep the commandments. We came up we were born into sin, but we got to be born again and come back and start keeping the commandments and rehearsing the righteous acts of the Lord. Because the reason that we're in this position today, because we broke the commandments. So what's the opposite of that? To get out of here, to keep the commandments, because America's going to be destroyed by nuclear family missiles in World War III, because World War III is coming. It's prophesied in the Bible. You know how to pray?
Yeah.
How do you pray? What's step number one to you going to pray? Give me 1 Corinthians 11 and 3.
Just
I'm going to teach you
talk
something.
with God.
Just talk with God?
Yeah.
That's part of it. But it's something that you as a woman have to do, and it's something that a man has to do too.
Like what?
I'm gonna bring it out. 1 Corinthians 11 and 3.
So, this 1 Corinthians 11 and 3. But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God.
Hold that. So in Catholicism, don't y'all teach that Christ is God? Read that again.
But I will have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man.
So the head of man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man. Y'all following?
And the head of Christ is God.
And the head of Christ is God. So if the head of Christ is God, how is Christ God? You know where they taught you that Christ is God? Because they gave you this image right here. What other one? They gave you this right here and say, look, this is God. And now you look at the white man as he's God. You feel me? Keep reading.
Every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonor of his head.
So it say when you praying or prophesying, like you praying to the Lord or you hearing the scriptures come out, your head is covered, you doing what?
Dishonoreth his
So
head.
so the head of man is Christ. So it say when the scriptures are coming out and you're praying, you dishonoring Christ.
But every woman that prayeth or prophesieth with her head uncovered, dishonoreth her head. For that is even all one, as if she were shaven.
So it said a woman praying or prophesying with her head uncovered is dishonoring her head. So it's saying when you're praying, first thing you gotta do as a woman is cover your head to honor your head, which is your husband. If you don't have a husband, to honor Christ. They ever taught you that? You eat pork, hot sausages, sausage biscuits,
Bacon.
bacon. Oh, give me Leviticus 11.
This Leviticus 11 and 7 in the swine.
The swine, you know what a swine is? It's a pig.
Though he divide the hoof and be cloven footed, yet he cheweth not the cud. He is unclean to you.
He is what?
He is unclean to you.
God, the creator of you, he made your body. He knows good for you, what's not. He said the swine is unclean for you.
Of their flesh shall ye not eat,
He said you should not eat their flesh. No pork skins, no none of that.
and their carcass shall ye not touch.
You're not even supposed to touch the damn pig. He said just leave it alone.
They are unclean to
They're
you.
what?
They are unclean to
They're
you.
unclean to you. You eat shrimp,
Yeah.
crab,
No.
lobster,
No.
squid, octopus. There's a lot of weird stuff our people eat.
I got it. These shall ye eat of all that are in the waters. Whatsoever have fins and scales in the waters.
So it has fins and scales. You eat catfish? But you eat shrimp?
Yeah.
Does the shrimp have fins? Scales?
Yeah.
Does it have fins like a fish?
I don't think so.
They don't. Period.
In the seas and in the rivers, them shall ye eat.
Mhm.
And all that have not fins and scales in the seas and in the rivers, of all that move in the waters, and of all any living thing which is in the waters, they shall be an abomination unto you.
Fins and scales. So if you want to eat anything out of the ocean, it has to have both fins and scales. It's the simple stuff we gotta start off with, man. You know, 'cause y'all got any questions though about anything? This is the church. Give me that Acts 17. The Most High don't dwell in temples made with hands. Because I'm telling you, these churches that's all throughout our neighborhoods, God does not dwell in those churches. Number one, they don't teach you to keep the commandments. Number two, God's the God of the heaven and the earth. This is footstool, man. How is he gonna dwell in the church?
This is Acts 17 and 24.
Bring it on.
God that made the world and all things therein, seeing that he is the Lord of heaven and earth, dwelleth not in temples made with
So it
hands.
said God does not dwell in temples made with hands. Give me Matthew 1 and 21. Y'all know the purpose of Christ? Y'all think when World War III starts to go down, that Christ is gonna just come back and save everybody and Christ loves everybody? Who is Christ coming back for?
This is Matthew 1 and 21. And she shall bring forth the son, and thou shalt call his name Jesus, for he shall save his people from their sins.
So he said he's gonna save his people from their sin. Right? Now give me Matthew 15 and 20.
This is Matthew.
Wait, Salak, hold it. You know, Satan tried to take away the word.
Immediately, man.
They try to take the word away.
I'm gonna show you Christ out of his own mouth, who he came back for. This is Jesus Christ, the man that we all love, right? Now, or at least we say we love him. This is him.
This is Matthew chapter 15, verse 22.
Uh-huh.
And behold, a woman of Canaan came out of the same coast and cried unto him, saying, Have mercy on me, O Lord, thou son of David. My daughter is grievously vexed with the devils.
So it said a woman from Canaan. You know what a Canaanite is? It's an African, a so-called African. He said this African woman came to him and cried, Lord, Lord, help me. My daughter is vexed with a demon.
But he answered her not a word.
So Christ ignored this African lady.
And his disciples came and besought him, saying, Send her away, for she crieth after us.
They said, get her out of here, man. She's just following us around crying and stuff.
But-
Yeah. It's gonna let you know.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Who?
Of the house of Israel.
Christ out his own mouth, this is red letters. He said, I am only sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Y'all ever heard that in church? You know why? Because if you heard that in church, you're gonna be thinking, dang, who's the house of Israel? Who are the Israelites? It's gonna make you wonder. Can you read this?
Then came she and worshipped him, saying, Lord, help me. But he answered and said, It is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to dogs.
What did Christ call this woman?
A dog.
Christ called this woman a dog. He said he's not gonna take the children's bread and cast it to a damn dog, man. That's what he said.
And she said, True.
Now she bucked up against Christ.
She said, True.
She said that's true, because everybody know that Christ will come back to save his people, man. That's the prophecy. Christ is gonna come back to save his people. You know? Shit, bring it out.
This is Acts. I'm gonna start at 22. This is Acts chapter 13, verse 22. And when he had removed him, he raised up unto them David to be their king, to whom also he gave testimony and said, I have found David the son of Jesse, a man after my own heart, which shall fulfill all my will. Of this man's seed have God, according to his promise, raised unto Israel a Savior, Jesus. When John had first preached before his coming the baptism of repentance to all the people of Israel.
repentance to all the people of Israel. Because it said Christ is going to come and save his people from their sins. There's only one nation of people that can sin because only one nation was given the laws of God and the promises and the covenants. You know who that people is? The Israelites. Give me that in Romans. Give me Romans 9:3. Because everybody, like, God is the God of Israel. This book is only dealing with the Israelites from the Old to the New Testament. It's only about the Israelites. It's not dealing with Christians or Catholics or Muslims. It's only about the Israelites.
This is Romans 9:3. For I could wish that myself were accursed from Christ, for my brethren, my kinsmen according to the flesh, who are Israelites, to whom pertaineth the adoption and the glory and the covenants and the giving of the law.
The giving of the law, because sin is a transgression of the law. And we're the only people given the law, so we're the only people that can commit sin.
In the service of God and the promises, whose are the fathers, and of whom concerning the flesh Christ came, who is over all, God bless forever. Amen.
Christ came for us, the Israelites. But y'all, can you recite John 3:16? Can you? For God so loved the world, that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believe in him. So
I've heard it.
y'all heard it before?
I've heard
So y'all know what that scripture means? Like the God so loved the world, you think that means like he loves everybody, right? It said for God so loved the world. Y'all, let me give you the understanding of John 3:16. You give me Isaiah 28:10 before we get that. Hold that. Get John 3:16 first. Our people have been led astray with these false doctrines, these false prophets in your churches, your TD States, your Joel Osteen. They just lie to our people, man. Our people go to church every Sunday, empty out their wallets and get lied to every Sunday. Every Sunday. I'm telling you, bring this out.
This is Isaiah chapter 28, verse 10.
Y'all got a few minutes? Our people. Keep going.
For precept must be upon precept.
Your church ain't gonna do this.
Precept upon precept.
Uh-huh.
Line upon line, line upon line. Here a little and there a little.
So it said precept must be upon precept, line upon line, here a little and there a little. That's why we go back and forth through the scriptures to get you the clear understanding of the Bible. You feel me?
This is John 3:16. For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting life.
So that sound like everybody, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna show you the world. Give me Isaiah 45.
45, 17.
Yeah. This is the world that John 3:16 is talking about.
This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 45, verse 17. But Israel shall be saved in the Lord with the everlasting salvation.
It's that everlasting salvation from John 3:16.
Ye shall not be ashamed, nor confounded, world without end.
What?
World without end.
So Israel is a world. A world without end. The nation of Israel, man. So what you really gotta do, give me Ecclesiastes 12 and 13.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man.
So what you gotta do is fear God and keep the commandments, because that's the whole duty of man. So you think God love white people? After all this, you think God love white people, or Africans, or Arabs, or Chinese, or all the people that had a hand in our captivity? No. You know that's in the Bible. You think God hates? Give me Romans 9 to 13. Yeah, hold that. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the white man in the Bible, right?
This Genesis 25 and 23.
Yeah.
And
Start at 20. Yeah. You right.
And the Lord said unto her, which is Rebekah, 2 nations are in thy womb, and 2 manner of people shall be separated from thy bowels.
So it's 2 nations inside of Rebekah's womb. And 2 manners of people shall be separated when they were born.
And the one people shall be stronger than the other people.
And one of these people is going to be stronger than the other people.
And the elder shall serve the younger.
And the oldest child, the one that comes out first, is going to serve the younger child.
And when her days to be delivered were fulfilled, behold, there were twins in her womb.
She's having twins.
And the first came out red all over like a hairy
So
garment.
this is the eldest child. The eldest child came out red. There's no such thing as black and white people. You have people that are different shades of brown, and you have people that are different shades of red.
And they called his name Esau.
So the red child, the so-called white man, he's red. His name is Esau.
You skip to 27.
You'll go to 27.
And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter,
And Esau was a cunning hunter.
a man of the field.
A man of the field. So who are the most predominant hunters out here today? That go kill a rhino, a giraffe, a polar bear, a black bear, a grizzly bear, anything. You a damn lion,
Boy, elephant.
an elephant, a whale. Man, the white man could kill anything out here. He'll hunt you down to kill you. He's a cunning hunter. And now let me show you how God feels about Esau according to the Bible.
This is Romans 9:13.
Uh-huh.
As it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I
It
hated.
said, as it is written, Jacob have I loved, but Esau have I hated. It says, as it is written. Where was it written?
In the book of Malachi,
Uh-huh.
chapter 1, starting at 3.
Uh-huh.
And I hated Esau.
He did what?
And I hated Esau.
God loves everybody.
And I hated Esau.
Keep reading.
And laid his mountains and his heritage waits for the dragons of the wilderness.
Keep reading.
Whereas Edom said, we are impoverished,
Uh-huh.
but we will return and build the desolate places.
So when we knocked the so-called white man out of power during the Dark Ages, when we ruled Europe for 1,000 years, they said they're gonna rise back up and build everything back up.
Thus said the Lord of hosts,
Mhm.
they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord hath indignation forever.
So it said whatever the white man build back up, the Lord's gonna throw it down. Because when the Renaissance period happened, that's when this image came about. They came back in power, and they painted Christ in their image, and they rose back up and started ruling. What you got? Bring it out. So like we were explaining earlier, how we were led into captivity, according to like Deuteronomy 28 and 15, we was cursed, and 68 said he's gonna send us into Egypt again with ships. This is the flip side.
This is Isaiah 14:1.
This is a future prophecy for the kingdom of heaven.
For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose
So
Israel,
he said, when it's all said and done, the Lord is gonna have mercy on Jacob. Who is Jacob? Israel.
and set them in their own land.
And we're gonna get set in our own land, because as you know, this is not our homeland. You know how we got here.
And the strangers shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob.
It said the strangers are going to be joined with us, and they shall cleave unto us. In Deuteronomy 28, it said we cleave unto them in want of all things: food, water, thirst, and clothing. Whatever you want, you have to go to the so-called other nations, the so-called white man, the Chinese man, the Arab. You got to go to the other nations to get whatever you want.
And the people shall take them and bring them to their place.
So how they came to the west shores of Africa and took us and brought us over here with chains on our necks and made us serve them, same thing's gonna happen.
And the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord, for servants and handmaids.
What?
For servants and handmaids.
What we got here, what we servants and handmaids? You ever seen Roots?
Yes.
And they shall take them captives, whose captives they were,
Uh-huh.
and they shall rule over their oppressors.
Does that sound just? That sounds equal to me.
So let me ask you a question. You ever watch Birth of a Nation?
No.
You should watch this. A good movie. Pretty much on what was his name? Nat Turner. Nat Turner. He was pretty much a slave. He was a pastor, and he'll go around teaching the slave Bible. When he really started reading the Bible, he figured out that we was the Israelites. They got it all in the movie, and they started murdering all the slave owners. He did that because he really figured out who Esau was, Amalek. So I think you should watch that movie. It's called Birth of a Nation.
So yeah, man. When it's all said and done, the Lord's gonna have mercy on Jacob. He's gonna choose Israel and go set us in our own land, and the strangers are gonna come and serve us as we serve them. Give me Revelation 21
Yeah, already.
and 12.
This is Revelation 21 and 12.
Wait, give me start off verse 1 so we know what we're talking about.
This Revelation 21 and 1. And I saw a new heaven
A what?
and a new earth. For the first heaven and the first earth were passed away,
This is after the war happens and everything gets destroyed.
and there was no more sea. Revelation 21 and 12. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of
So
Israel.
people think that the kingdom of heaven is one gate and it's open to everybody. It's an all-white party and it's lit. But the kingdom of heaven is only for the Israelites, because we're the only people that's in hell right now. This is hell on earth. Like Catholicism, they teach that hell is some place where Satan actually rules a realm. It's underground. He's poking you with a pitchfork. And heaven is some all-white party in the sky. But right, really, this is their heaven. They built their heaven on earth and made you think you had to die to go to heaven. But heaven is rulership of the earth.
I'm gonna get this for brother right here.
I'm gonna get that. Hold that.
And get what salvation is. Luke 1:68. That shit cold. Who needs to be
Yeah,
saved?
we the only nation of people that need to be saved from our enemies, man. Period. We the only nation out here catching hell by every nation on. God made 18 nations, and the other 17 nations, they hate the Israelites. If you read Psalms 83, it tells you who are all the enemies of the Israelites.
This is Luke 168. Blessed be the Lord God of Israel.
Of who?
Of Israel.
Israel,
For he had visited and redeemed his people. And he raised up a horn of salvation for us in the house of his servant David.
For us.
Keep going.
As he spake by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we should be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, to perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant, the oath which he sware to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us that we be delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear and holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. And thou, child, shalt be called the prophet of the highest, for thou shalt go before the face of the Lord to prepare his ways, to give knowledge of salvation unto his people by the remission of their sins, through the tender mercy of our God, whereby the day spring from on high, hath visited us, to give light to them that sit in darkness and in the shadow of death, to guide our feet into the way of peace.
See, salvation is for us, the Israelites, because he promised that to our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Now this is what I want y'all to really do. I want y'all to have the kingdom with me, most high willing. If I get the kingdom, I want y'all to be there with me. If you get it, I want to be there with you.
This is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 5, verse 7. Make no tarrying to turn to the Lord, and put not off from day to day.
Don't put this off from day to day. Maybe I might get right next week, next year. I'm gonna try to find out the truth, man. I want you to go home and do your research on the Israelites, man. Cause this is your nationality, this is your culture. The only thing black people don't got is culture, man. Our culture is down rap music and sports. That's all we got for culture. And we cleave on to African culture like we some down Africans. We desperate for a culture. We don't know what our culture is, but it's just Bible.
For suddenly shall the wrath of the Lord come forth, and in thy security thou shalt be destroyed.
It says suddenly the wrath of the Lord is gonna come, and when you think you all straight, you're gonna be destroyed
and perish in the day of vengeance. Set not thine heart upon good unjust. Set not thine heart upon goods unjustly gotten, for they shall not profit thee in the day of calamity.
So your only focus is chasing the bag. I mean, that's all good, but you got to set your heart on the Most High and follow the commandments. Yeah, you need money. I'm not saying you can't go make your money, but don't let that be your only focus. Your only goal is just to get money and get rich and move to a white neighborhood. That should not be your only focus. Your focus is to keep the commandments, think about the Most High, and yeah, that's really all you got to do is keep commandments. That's the whole duty of man.
We trying to make it to the kingdom.
You trying to make it to the kingdom of heaven, man. You owe it to your damn self. Look where you at right now. These heat, man, give me second half, man. Six.
I got you.
54, man. These damn heathens, man, they lifted up their head against us. Now they are wait, hold that. Give me Deuteronomy 7 and 6.
I got that.
Cause this is what we supposed to be, man. Cause the Most High God put the Israelites above every nation on the face of the earth.
Alright, so and then what's the scripture that says they have seen the Prince walking upon the earth?
Ecclesiastes 6, 8.
And then there's another one in Deuteronomy 28 that says they're about up very high.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 7, verse 6.
So this is what the Most High intended for the Israelites.
For thou art a holy people unto the Lord thy God.
The word holy means separate, cut off.
The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth.
Give me 10 to 15. It said the Most High God say he put us above all people upon the face of the earth, not equal to and not beneath. Right now we beneath. We're not even equal. They said we three-fifths of a man. That's not how God had it set up to be, but we broke his commandments, so he just had to do it to us. He had to punish us.
This is Deuteronomy 10 and 15. Only the Lord had a delight in thy fathers to love them.
Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
And he chose their seed after them. Even you above all people, as it is this day.
Like one more, 14 and 2. That's 2, because the Lord God put us above every nation, but we are not there right now. Because we forsook our God and our power, and we followed the ways of the heathens. We no longer keep the commandments. We just some niggas out here. To them, that's how we act though. We don't keep the commandments no more. But that's our culture. That's what we did. We're a royal nation.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 14, verse 2. For thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. And the Lord has chosen thee to be a peculiar people unto himself, above all the nations that are upon the earth.
So God a liar? And he said that, right? So can nobody come say, you know, we are all equal, bro? But God just said we're above every nation on the earth. They got to deal with that.
This is Deuteronomy 28 and 43.
Bring that out.
The stranger that is within thee shall get up above thee very high,
The strangers, the nations outside of the Israelites,
and thou shalt come down very low.
say they gonna come on real high. All these big buildings you see, all these skyscrapers and these major corporations are owned by other nations. Not one is from your people.
Ecclesiastes.
What-
It's
Yeah,
Ecclesiastes
you got a
8.
second Ezra? Yeah.
And then I get Ecclesiastes. She said,
Yeah.
It's 8
This is the book
and
of
somewhere
2nd
8.
Esdras, chapter 6 and verse 54.
Uh-huh.
And after these, Adam also, whom thou madest Lord of all thy creatures,
So Adam, keep going.
of him come we all.
So we all come from Adam, right? And Adam is the Lord of all creatures, right?
And the people also whom thou hast chosen.
Who did God choose? The Israelites. He told you that in Deuteronomy. The Most High God, he chose the Israelites above all people upon the face of the earth.
All this have I spoken before thee, O Lord, because thou madest the world for our sake.
The Most High God made the world for the Israelites' sake. Who are the Israelites? The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians.
As for the other people,
The other people,
which also come of Adam,
so the damn Chinese man, the damn Arab man, the damn Japanese, the East Indian man, the other people, the white man.
thou hast said that they are nothing.
Wait, they're what?
They are nothing.
No, they something.
They are
The
nothing.
Most High God said they are nothing.
But be like unto spittle,
What's the root word of spittle? It's spit. Oh, when you spit, he reading.
and has likened the abundance of them
Uh-huh.
unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
So if you carrying a big pot of water, right, and a little drop of water fall out that pot, are you gonna care about that little pot? You're not gonna care. He reading.
And now, O Lord, behold, these heathen, which have ever been reputed as nothing,
These heathens, these other nations outside of the nation of Israel that the Most High God has ever reputed as nothing, they're nothing to him.
have begun to be lords over us.
Now they telling us what to do. They're making laws. We gotta follow it. They're running our house. They shoot us. They incarcerate us. All this stuff.
And to devour us.
They devour us.
But we thy people, whom thou hast called thy firstborn, thy only begotten, and thy fervent lover, are given into their hands.
Now we in the hands of our enemies, man. They having their way with us.
If the world not be made for our sakes, why do we not possess an inheritance with the world?
Why we don't own none of these big buildings, these big malls, these big corporations? Why not? Why nobody in this town own anything like that? See, the Mexicans, they might own a taco truck. We might own a damn barbershop. Why we don't own no major corporations around here? No Apples, no Microsoft, no dealers, no Macy's, no nothing.
So like, we had a Black Wall Street, and what they do today?
They bombed it.
How long shall this endure?
How long should this keep going? As long as we keep not loving our brother, as long as we keep breaking the commandments, as long as we keep just going off away from our power, this stuff is gonna keep on happening and happening and happening. It's not gonna change. Nothing's gonna change until we come back to the ways of the Lord, man. Period. That's the only way we'll get up out of here. You know what I mean?
This Ecclesiastes 10:7. I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking that service upon the earth.
See, the Most High God said He's seen servants on horses and princes walking next to these horses. You seen the picture or the video of the cops? They arrested this black dude. He was on top of a horse and they was walking the dude on the road. That's the servant on the horse and that's the prince walking on the ground.
Read it again, Odd.
I have seen servants upon horses and princes walking as servants upon the earth.
That's what we doing, man.
It's a lot. Have y'all watched Django? So you see at the very beginning of Django, right? They have all the slaves shackled up walking behind them in the cold. And the two white dudes, they're riding on the horse.
You a so-called Mexican, bro? What's your nationality? You don't know your nationality? Like, if you would go fill out a job application, what would you mark for your ethnicity? So you don't know, man.
Marshallese?
No.
No.
Asian.
Philippines?
Asian. Philippines.
You from the Philippines? Oh, we got people scattered all up throughout the earth now. I don't know. You might be. You got any precepts? But yeah, you got any questions?
I got a precept. It's kind of off topic, but
Just bring it out.
I meant to bring it out earlier.
Give me Isaiah 61. You know me? Because the only thing we have to do to come up out of here is keep the commandments. Because 2/3 of the Israelites are going to be put to death in the land of their captivity because they will not return and hearken to the voice of the Lord.
God.
Only 1/3 is going to be saved out of this captivity. We still in captivity to this day. Don't think us on a little bit of time went by. We're not in captivity. Because when God redeemed us from Egypt the first time, they were in Egypt for 430 years.
God.
Right now, we've been over here for a little over 400 years. So don't think God is slack concerning his promise, because he's coming.
Yup.
Christ is coming, man.
All right, and with this scripture right here, I meant to bring it out. I just here read Isaiah about how everything's gonna be reversed in the kingdom,
Yeah, bring
and
it
we're
out.
gonna rule over our oppressors, right?
You holding out
So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 149, and I'm gonna start at 5.
Bring it out.
It says this: Let the saints be joyful in glory.
Mm-hmm.
Let them sing aloud upon their beds.
Mm-hmm.
Let the high praises of God be in their mouth, and a two-edged sword in their hands,
Mm-hmm.
to execute vengeance upon the heathen and punishments upon the people,
That's right.
to bind their kings with chains
To bind their kings with chains to them Donald Trumps.
and their nobles with fetters of iron,
Uh-huh.
to execute upon them the judgment written. This honor have all his saints. Praise ye the Lord.
So that thing we gonna forget about, like, come on now, be for real. We supposed to be forgetting about this. We can't repay them. Like I said in Ezekiel. Come on now, stop playing.
This Baruch chapter 3 and 8.
Mhm.
Behold, we are yet this day in our captivity.
We are yet this day in our captivity. Right now, in 2019, we are yet this day in our captivity.
where thou hast scattered us for a reproach and a curse, and to be subject to payments, according to all the iniquities of our fathers, which departed from the Lord our God.
Our forefathers, they departed, and we departed. Now we over here serving our enemies, subject to payments. Like my job, we probably make $1 million a day. I make like 100 every day, barely. So we getting crumbs. We getting the crumbs out far from the master table now. That's the job of the heathen. They supposed to get the crumbs out far from the master
We
table.
get the crumbs just to put it back in their pocket.
Just
for
to put it
bills,
back in
gas,
their pocket.
anything we want, we gotta go to them for it. So we gotta give them back the money.
We go to work for money just like that. I got this money now, but hey, rent, gas, food, clothes, damn, it's right back to y'all.
Water.
It's all an illusion. Because it's like you feel like you're doing all this work, you
That's
making
the right
all this
word.
money, but where's it at the end of the day? How come we all still, as a whole nation,
That's a nation.
we got like 10, we might have 200, we might have 1,000 people
1%.
that are wealthy in our nation. Look at the rest of us. We all on the bottom. We all struggling. We all getting killed. When one of us died, that's like one of our brothers dying.
Right.
Just because we don't know them person, that's one of. It could have been him. It could have been me. It could have been you.
Hey, man,
This woman just got shot playing
Huh.
video games with her 8-year-old nephew.
bring that out.
The police officer said, put your hands up and shot at the same time. At the same time. The whole reason they were there is because her door was open. That's her house. That's her door to have open. But they could kill us and nothing happens to them. At the same time, there's one of our brothers, he shot a police dog and got 45 years.
Amen to that.
45 years. This woman walked into the wrong apartment, shot a man, and got 10 years.
10.
Go ahead and serve 5 of those and be right back out on the streets. And probably go to a different city and get hired again by the police.
So the black man's life, if you kill a black man, hey, you 10 years. That's how you go, kid. I'm telling you, you shoot a white man in the leg, don't kill him. Attempt to murder, you going to jail for life.
Oh yeah.
Bring that out.
61:1.
Yeah. Bring Isaiah, man.
This a cutter. This
Yes, sir.
Isaiah 61:1. The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because the Lord hath anointed me to preach good tidings unto the meek.
Into the meat.
He hath sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives,
Jude
and the
chapter
opening
1
of the
one
prisons
time.
to them that are bound,
Keep reading.
to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all that mourn.
So the Most High God, He has not forsaken us, man. Where in the Bible has the Most High forsaken anybody that kept His commandments and believed in Him, man? He's never ever did that to us, man. He gonna come back and redeem us from this captivity. Period. People thinking, give me Psalm 49 and 11. Psalm 49:11, cause they think this is gonna go on forever. Nothing's gonna happen to America. Hey, forget about that slavery shit. It's over with. Y'all forgot about it. Y'all don't care. We don't care. We definitely don't care. and nothing's gonna happen.
This is Psalms 49 and 11.
Mhm.
Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever.
What?
Their inward that their houses shall continue forever.
They think their house is gonna continue forever. They think all this stuff is gonna go on forever and ever and ever and ever, and nothing's gonna change.
Their dwelling places to all generations,
Mhm.
and they call their lands after their own
They
names.
said they're dwelling places to all generations. They think they go pass it down to their son. His son finna pass it down to his son. It's gonna keep on going on. And wherever they go and conquer, they just name it after themselves. America Vespucci. Africa, what's his name? Leonardo Scipio Africanus. They conquer a land and name it after themselves, man.
Look, for example, New York. That's named after a person. All these states, all these cities, all these
They
names.
just named after people that captured it, man. And like we said earlier, like it's only like 1% of our people that's like prevailing in this wicked society, but by doing wickedness. But you feel me? That's only 1%. Like we go to any of these. Have you ever just seen an all-black rich neighborhood? You just walk. If you walk into a big neighborhood, oh, there's got to be a white people neighborhood. It's no secret. We just know this. Like that's a dang. They got a Ferrari or something. If he's not a rapper, it's a white dude. Period. All these big neighborhoods, white people. These 2-story, 3-story houses, these people with all these damn acres, white people. I don't give a damn. It's just the facts, man.
You want a 7?
No, it's like I want Judah.
Judah.
It's in the pocket.
Why you getting that? I'm gonna say this: to be successful in this world, you gotta sell out.
You gotta sell
You
out.
gotta make your people go off. You gotta promote wickedness. Either gotta be sex, drugs, or violence. Any type of rapper, look at Cardi B, look at Meg Thee Stallion,
Judith Wick?
look at Lil Uzi, look at all these rappers. They promote nothing but wickedness. Young Boy, everybody love Young Boy, but what he talk about, killing his own people. And now these young cats out here want to be like him, so they out here killing their own people. They snaking their brothers out for money, trying to get clout. Like it's all wickedness, and nobody really see it because they so blinded by the world. They want to be just like these people. You feel me? I was watching a Netflix called Rhythm and Flow or something. They got Chance the Rapper, Cardi B, and T.I. on there. They the judges. All of these people from different cities are competing just to be in the media and sell out. Just to be rappers and sell out. They literally helping them ruin their life and sell out and go to the devil. It's crazy, bro. This world is wicked, and that's why it got to be destroyed.
It's gonna be destroyed.
Yes.
It does say the Bible,
It does
man.
say the Bible.
But I'm gonna show you why our people, like, we ask them, y'all got a minute? Nah, we don't. I'm gonna show you why people are in this lowest state that we are in right now, man.
Come on. This is the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6.
Bring it out.
My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all want to forget the law? All right. Now y'all gonna be devoured, like it said on 2nd Ezra. How long is this gonna continue? As long as y'all keep breaking my commandments, I'm gonna leave y'all there. It's a punishment. For like, he not gonna just seen it up for 10 years, 15 years. All right, y'all come back. I forgot it. No, generations. Your grandkids finna get it. Now, I'm not. God is a black man. He ain't playing like when my dad got mad at me. He was not bull. He was look. You know to get right when your dad ain't telling you. You know.
This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 3, verse 17.
This is why we out here right now.
Come on. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman unto the house of Israel.
Bro, what?
You are a watchman unto the house of Israel.
You going?
Therefore hear the word of my mouth, and give them warning from me. When I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest him not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thine hand.
So if we don't come and warn our people where they going off at, yeah, he go die still. But if we don't say nothing, we gotta die too. Period.
Yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul.
So if we warn you and you still just keep going off, you go die still. But if we warn you, the blood is off our hands. We wash our hands off. You know what I mean? And people say we out here preaching hate. How we preaching hate when we telling our people come back and keep the commandments of God? That's the best thing you could tell anybody. When we tell our people y'all gotta come back and keep the commandments, them brothers like preaching hate. That's all we do though.
It's a lie. The only reason they say that we're preaching hate is because we're not all inclusive. We don't say it's for everybody, because that'll be us lying.
That's lying. According to the Bible, we'll be lying then. So we gotta give you, look, the truth hurt. The truth just hurt. If you exclude it out of it, it's like, dang, salvation ain't for me. Damn, God don't love me too. I've been lied to my whole life.
I'm going
dang.
into slavery.
I gotta go into slavery for what my forefathers. Give me Isaiah 14 and 21. Well, I gotta go into slavery for what my forefathers did. I gotta get punished for something that didn't have anything to do with me. Dang, God like that.
Yeah.
I already got that job.
You got it?
Yeah. This is the book of Isaiah,
Give me
chapter
the
14,
limitation.
verse
Oh,
21.
you hold everything you got.
Prepare
You got-
slaughter
damn,
for
you
his
got too many
children,
brothers.
for the iniquity of their fathers.
It said prepare slaughter for their children, not for what they did, not for what little Billy Bob did,
But for the iniquity of their fathers.
for what their forefathers did. Give me Lamentations 5 and 7. Cause why you think we over here right now? Why you think a police officer can walk in our house and shoot us down for no damn reason, man? Okay,
This Lamentations 5 and 7.
Mhm.
Our fathers have sinned and are not.
our fathers have sinned. Our forefathers have went off and they're dead and gone.
And we have borne their iniquities. Servants have ruled over us, and there is none that deliver us out of their hand.
Now we bore their iniquities, man. Now these damn servants, these damn white people that ruling over us, and it's like, damn, it's all bad right now. All because of our forefathers breaking commandments. We got to go into slavery, and now our people at the bottom of the totem pole.
Please get that.
Bring it
Let 'em-
out.
Let them get that.
Y'all just go ahead. And
Oh my
freestyle
goodness,
on
I
me.
ain't never seen that.
Look,
Bring it out.
look, this is going back to earlier when we were
You can-
showing
you can stand
all
there
the
if you
scriptures
want.
that were never seen they were black, right?
Uh-huh.
We brought out like 4. Here's another
Oh,
one.
we got plenty more.
Yeah. This is Lamentations 5 and 10. Our skin was black like an oven because of the terrible famine. So
Our
this is-
skin black like an
oven.
oven. Give me Lamentations 4 and 8. Give me Lamentations 4 and 8. Hold all your cutters. You got Lamentations? Give me Lamentations 4 and 8.
Sir, this is the book of Lamentations, chapter 4 and verse 8. Their visage is blacker than a coal.
You know what a visage is? If you Google the word visage, it means your face. It says blacker than a coal, like if they got hit with a grenade or something. Like you,
They keep us standing in the smoke of a fire all night.
their visage is black as a coal. So every time I watch a Bible movie, it's only white people.
man.
Like everybody in the Bible is white.
or Middle Eastern.
Middle, what? Where's the Middle
Hey,
West?
hey,
at?
get that out, Doc.
If there's a Middle East, where's the Middle West?
Man.
That's not a real place, bro. That's just a location. It's just somewhere over there. It's Israel, man. Bring them up.
This is Job 27 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
This is the portion of a wicked man with God and the heritage of oppressors.
So the wicked is the white man. It told you that. Where did it say that? The border of wickedness.
Malachi.
Malachi, Salaki. It was in Malachi. They're the border of wickedness and the heritage of oppressors.
which they shall receive of the Almighty.
Uh-huh.
If his children be multiplied, it is
It's
for the sword.
So if they multiply their children, they have babies, have kids, they offspring have offspring. It's just to be destroyed. It's for the sword. That's not how I feel or what I think or what I came up with. That's in the scriptures, man. And the church do not deal with these scriptures.
Hey, get Maccabees 348.
Yeah, get Maccabees 3 and 48 so I can show you where this come from, man. I'm gonna show you where this come from during the Renaissance period and rebuilding up with the so-called white man. This is what they did during the Renaissance period, man. And it's all this is the 14 books that the Protestant Christian Church took out in 1780 to hide important history, man. You give me Maccabees 6 and 6.
This
No, 1 to 40.
This Maccabees 3 and 48, and lay open the book of the law,
What's the book of the law? The Bible.
wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
So they whitewashed all of the images. They got Christ and they painted them white. They got Solomon, they painted them white. Moses painted them white. They painted everybody white.
The angels.
The angels are black, man. Bring it out.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1, verse 40.
I'm gonna show you how our people got discontinued from our heritage, like it told us in Jeremiah.
As had been her glory, so was her dishonor increased, and her excellency was turned into mourning.
Keep reading.
Moreover, King Antiochus wrote
Antiochus.
wrote unto his people and wrote to his whole kingdom that all should be one people.
That's what we get. We are all one people. Because before God separated the sons of Adam, He put the Israelites above every nation on the earth. But Antiochus said, "Wait, we are all one people,
And everyone shall leave his laws.
and we should, and all the Jews, the Israelites, we're gonna leave the laws of our God, the God of Israel, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
So all the heathen agreed according to this commandment.
All the heathens, all the other nations outside of the Israelites, the so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians,
to this commandment of the king.
Mhm.
Yeah, many also of the Israelites consented to his religion
Just like today, most of our people are sellouts. They consent to the religions of the heathens. They follow the customs of the heathens.
and sacrificed unto idols and profaned the Sabbath.
And they profane the Sabbath. Today's the Sabbath. Keep reading.
For the king has sent letters by messengers unto Jerusalem and the cities of Judah, that they should follow the strange laws of the land.
Now we said we're going to follow the strange laws of the land. Now, our people are going to do exactly what the heathen do. Shave their beards, do Christmas, goddamn Halloween.
Man.
All these off holidays, our people are going to follow the way of the heathen. Celebrate birthdays.
Get Colossians 2:8.
You get that whole day. Keep reading.
And forbid burnt offerings and sacrifice and drink offerings in the temple, and that they shall profane the Sabbaths and festival days.
How we going to profane our Sabbath and our high holy days? We're not going to be keeping Feast of Tabernacles, the Passover, all these holidays that we celebrate. No, we're not doing that no more.
And pollute the sanctuary and holy people, set up altars and groves and chapels of idols, and sacrifice swine's flesh and unclean beasts,
You reading?
that they should also lead their children uncircumcised,
It's a law for the Israelites that we have to circumcise our sons on the 8th day.
and make their souls abominable with all manner of uncleanness and profanation,
And what's the whole point of them doing all this? Keep reading.
to the end they might forget the law and change all the ordinances. And whosoever would not do according to the commandment of the king, he said, he should die.
So it said we did not follow the ways of the heathens to get in that Gentile state of mind. We'll be give me 2 Maccabees 6:6. And we did not conform to the ways of the heathens. We were going to be put to death. You tell a black person, hey, if I catch you reading our Bible, if I catch you keeping the commandments, we're gonna kill you. You think our people gonna do it? Hell no, I ain't trying to die. Forget this Bible, forget all this. Let's do what the heathens do. Let's take the fringes off our shirts. Let's cut our beards off. Let's do Christmas. Let's do birthdays.
So look, in slavery, a slave was not permitted to read the Bible. If they opened up the Bible, they'd get hung, they'd get killed for that instantly.
During slavery, if you were caught even trying to learn how to read, you were getting put to death. And when they taught you how to read the Bible, if they caught you reading Exodus, you was getting put to death. That's history. Bring out 6 and 6, man, and read all the way to verse 9.
This is the book of 2 Maccabees, chapter 6, verse 6. Neither was it lawful for a man to keep Sabbath days or ancient feasts.
So they made it a law that if we caught you keeping the Sabbath day or any one of these hot holy days in the Bible, it was not lawful to do that.
Or to profess himself at all to be a Jew.
So if you even call yourself a Jew, we the real Jews. But they say if y'all call yourself a Jew, keep going, it was unlawful.
And in the day of the king's birth, every month, they were brought to by bitter constraint to eat of the sacrifices.
By what?
By bitter constraints to eat of the sacrifices.
We were forced to celebrate birthdays. Birthdays was never a part of Hebrew customs. We were never celebrating birthdays, but we were forced to. Now we just do it like every year. Like, it's my birthday, y'all better tell me happy birthday. We beefing, we not friends no more. we was never doing that. We was never celebrating no damn birthdays before until we were forced to.
And when the Feast of Bacchus was kept, the Jews were compelled to go in possession to Bacchus, carrying ivy.
Keep reading.
Moreover, there went out a decree to the neighbor cities of the heathen by the suggestion of Ptolemy against the Jews, that they should observe the same fashions and be partakers of the sacrifices.
Keep reading.
And whoso would not conform themselves to the manners of the Gentiles should be put to death.
So if we didn't do what they told us to do, all in all, what it was to do was to discontinue us from our heritage. If you ain't do what they told you to do, you're getting killed. Period.
This is Colossians 2:8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit,
Don't let no man spoil you through anything that's not real.
after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Christ.
That's what happened to our people, man. We followed the ways of the heathen.
Christmas, Easter,
Thanksgiving, Halloween,
4th of July.
all that is heathen. Your own birthday, it's heathen. It's heathen. It's all heathen customs. We don't do that. We got high holy days that the Lord commanded us to keep, and we keep them, and it's lit. What we finna do tonight? It's a good night, man. It's close to the Feast of Tabernacles.
That's
we
right.
It out. Like, y'all, come
That's
on.
right.
Y'all talking about fuck Halloween.
Yeah.
All that other stuff. Y'all, yeah, I'm telling you. So yeah, man, we the Israelites of the Bible, man. The so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians are the true Israelites of the Bible, man.
That's right.
Don't let nobody tell you no different. You're not no African American, no Afro American, no colored, no damn Negro, no damn Spink, no wetback, no Hispanic. You a damn Israelite.
God chosen.
God's chosen, man. That's the best thing you can ever be is God's chosen people, man. God's chosen, man. Let me try to just bring out something, man. You feel
I was
me?
gonna get that.
Y'all got a minute over there?